Hammerdude 2088, and are you a tier 1 mid-game player? Or perhaps even tier 2? Generally, this is that range in the game where you kind of get confused on what you should do, where you should go, how you should build, because you want to do everything, but you got to stay focused and do one thing specifically at a time and kind of go into some kind of chronological order. But today, I want to kind of touch on building like your attacker unit. Like whoever your main attacker unit may be, like mine is Mah-Lon. It took me a while to achieve the decent stats that I have now. I mean, even most people that I see that's on the same level of play as I am, and I am like tier 2 on the brink of becoming a tier 3 player. And even their strongest attackers generally don't have the kind of stats that I have on my Lucian, where you have really high crit rate, some decent crit damage, a good attack, as well as the speed. Like just to be able to get those stats. And sometimes you can't get those stats in a full 4 set, because we generally do 4 set, 2 set, like Fatal Blade or Swift Focus or things just in that nature. You generally do that, and I was doing that too. But a few free rune removals ago, I had this little thought in my head of just trying something different. Now, I did a little research going on other YouTubers' channels and Twitch streamers just to kind of get a grasp of building an attacker. And one of the main key points that I learned was broken set. Now, by you being on a tier 1, tier 2 level of mid game, you should probably be familiar with this term by now. An early game player, I don't expect you to know what broken set means. But if you do, running a broken set, just kind of like how a lot of people usually run Bernard Swift broken, just to get the stats that you need. And that's the key point that I want to make, is the stats. Because the stats are generally more important when you're so early in your game progression. And even some of the later game players still go with these kind of builds just to get the stats that they need. Just like in these 2 rooms here, I got good speed for my Bernard, and this is what you want. You want those hardcore stats, because that's what's more important. But for your attackers, I kind of done something where is either you utilizing a 2 set of blade and going blade broken or blade broken, or even try blade, things like that in that nature. I just so happen to be able to get energy set on my Lucian, and at first he was just a fatal blade. But if you're anything like me when you're playing this game, RNG really doesn't like you, and RNG just like really don't like me at all. So it's kind of hard for me to really get the quality runes that I need, especially like Blade and Fatal. It's hard for me to get really good Blade and Fatal runes, so I end up with runes like this, where 6-star attack percent rune and some really decent crit rate. I mean, it's not a bad rune. This is a pretty good rune, and it has room for even improvement. As well as this one. This has some amazing crit rate by my standard, because I don't see crit rate like this on runes often. And this is also a 6-star rune. It'd be nice if it was a Fatal or a Blade, but unfortunately it's not. And then I can do something with that flat attack, and this rune also has room for improvement. This can be an excellent rune. And these are the things that I want to really touch on that you don't have to necessarily use a full set. You don't have to do just Fatal Blade. And I'm sure I'm going to have... here are both of my Lucian's stats on Fatal Blade before that in particular free rune removal. The second Lucian just had some leftovers anyway, but the main Lucian had my best Fatal Blade set. To show you the stats of my main Lucian prior to this, I think I had some for my second Lucian as well, because I had to de-rune a few monsters and really rework my monsters to achieve the stats that I needed for the main Lucian, and speed syncing them with the second Lucian as well. As you see, their speeds are not that far off. and the stats are a little bit different. Second Lucian is not as strong, but he's decent. He's decent enough, and gets the job done. I mean, I saw myself going higher in arena with my double Lucian comp, and as well as doing better in my Giants runs. It was kind of a hit and miss. On a good day, I can double Lucian and Giants, and it does relatively well. And I don't necessarily need Bernard. I generally throw Bernard in just to be a little safer, but just saying in that perspective. And even on my second Lucian, I'm going Blade Shield Broken. And once again, I just so happen to have some decent shield runes. I needed the speed, so that's probably why I put this one on. And it's a 6-star rune at that happened to have crit rate, so it's like, yeah, I definitely use that. And then this is a 6-star attack percent because I can never get attack percent in the runes that I want them to be in. It's generally in some random 2-set rune or something like that. Just like this one, like this crit rate is amazing. I mean, like this rune is not the greatest rune ever, but you can't beat that crit rate. And it's like, why wouldn't I use it? Why wouldn't I put it on my best attackers? And I'm sure plenty of you have runes out there like that. Just have these really amazing runes that's not quite in the set you want them to be in, but instead of putting those runes on the monsters they should be on, you just got them split between your other monsters, and you can excel really well in one specific area and one specific format for this game if you were to actually just rethink the way you're building and not focus on having a set but having good stats. Because I mean, Fatal inherently does give you more stats, but if you can achieve better stats without actually having a Fatal set on, then why not do that? I mean, it's like the difference between Violent and Swift. Like when you're in your early progression, you want to have Swift more so than Violent because Swift gives you a stat boost. Violent gives you extra skill. And that's the difference between having a set versus having a broken set. And people generally run broken set because the stats on those runes are better than having a 2 set of another rune or even a 4 set. And this is kind of what I wanted to touch on, just kind of getting you tier 1, tier 2 game players together, because I've been seeing a lot of you guys come in to my stream, and a lot of you kind of running that same kind of room build, and it's like I was doing it at once running the Fatal Blade, and I just didn't have the stats that I needed because it's like I can't get the room quality that I need. And I know a lot of you are still struggling with that room quality and have random rooms that's really good on monsters that don't even deserve them, and your main attackers could be so much stronger. So I want to get you guys kind of focused on really working on your core units, whatever you working on in the game, whether it's giants, whether it's TOA, dragons, necro. Maybe really shouldn't be doing necro if you're tier 1 or tier 2, but and then raid as well. It's like just getting focused and getting geared to just having the best quality stats on your units as possible. Kind of finish up here. Yeah, come check out the Twitch stream. Every Sunday we're doing that 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 7 Central, 5 Pacific. I'm doing account reviews over there, so you can come get your account review, check it out. I'm generally looking for the people that's in the range of a tier 3 mid game to early game area. Every so often I see a tier 4 player. They might not even know that they're that good, but they are that good. And those guys are a little more difficult for me to really critique on the accounts because I'm still learning myself and trying to get geared into moving into that next level of game content and getting a better understanding so I can help you guys that's on my level or below my level or just a little bit above to understand what you should be doing, how you should be doing it, and where you should be going based on your monsters, your rune quality, and where you are currently in the game. So this is the Gamer Dude signing out. See you in another video, hopefully sooner than later. And deuces. Oh, before I almost forget, don't forget, next Friday, it's that December 23rd, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be doing a mass summoning on my Twitch channel. So do come by there and check that out. And I will be doing a gift card giveaway to some random lucky person in the stream. So yeah, come check that out. We got a nice community going over there. We crack jokes, have fun. So yeah, do come check that out. Follow me on that Twitch so you can get into all the good stuff that's to come into next year. And I'm out once again. Deuces.